Hi Josh, hi Drew. I'm Kai, I'm from Scotland, and you're more than welcome to use my name in this. I unfortunately ended up with appendicitis over the weekend, being agoraphobic and suffering from panic disorder. That was challenging to say. I ended up having to go down to the doctors. They said I needed to go to the hospital, so did what I had to do, focused on my breathing, and I went down to the hospital. I've been in the hospital for 2 days now, had to get emergency surgery, get my appendix out. I've got a fear of medication. All of that, absolutely terrifying. Yet here I am. I've not even had one panic attack. I've had shivers, I've been shaken, but I've been fine. And I think we need to give ourselves some credit sometimes. All of us can handle so much more than we give ourselves credit for. Push that a little bit harder. Believe in yourself.
Welcome to Disordered. This is episode 131, entitled Believing in Yourself or Believe in Yourself. I am Drew Linsalata. I am a therapist practicing in the area of anxiety and anxiety disorders in New York, in the US of A, former sufferer of the very things we talk about here on Disordered, a author on this topic, social media guy, psychoeducator, advocate, and one half of this team that's going to talk about how we can learn to believe in ourselves when anxiety kind of takes that away. And with me, as always, behind the mic in the UK is...
I'm Joshua Fletcher, also known as Anxiety Josh. I'm a psychotherapist and author based in Manchester in the UK. Previous sufferer of panic disorder, OCD, GAD, health anxiety, social anxiety, blah, yada, yada, yada. And I commit my working life to talking about a very important subject in a world full of misinformation and confusing stuff. And it's a privilege to do that every week.
No, welcome back, dude. Glad to have you.
Yeah, it's really good. And thanks to Kai. Thank you for sending that in. A solid reminder, and well done. Give him an applause.
100%. Here we go. That's like the worst nightmare scenario for so many listeners of Disordered, what he had to go through, what Kai had to go through.
Yeah, but this is what anxiety will do. Mm. It will, like following from last episode about Craig the critic, it will do is it will convince you that you will not cope. You do not have enough. If it put you in a situation that is way too much, it will give you a projection, an estimation of your ability to cope, you breaking down and, you can't cope. And yet, look what Kai's done. Everything hit the fan, and yet all you can hear is it's almost like this pride in his voice, and he wants to share that feeling with other people.
Yeah. Well, he even acknowledged some shivering, some shaking, some scary moments, but yet here I am. So the prediction that anxiety and Craig the critic issues, this is going to be a nightmare. You're not going to handle it. You will melt. You will explode. You're going to cause a scene. You're going to fold. You're going to crumble. You can't do this. Turns out to be wrong. And I love that Kai was able to recognize that. And you know what I really appreciate, and that's why it was the opener of today's episode, that realization that wow, we are just telling ourselves bad stories about ourselves. One of the more funny things I ever saw on the internet years ago was somebody who said man, anxiety is just conspiracy theories about yourself. I'm like, that's really good. Yeah, you're right. It's about how we can't handle this. This is too much. That feeling is too strong. And as it turns out, in Kai's case, he was wrong. And by the way, I hope it worked out. Kai, let us know. Hopefully you're home and feeling better. So,
yeah, well done, Kai. It's for some reason in my head, he has a cigar in his mouth and a bottle of whiskey, and he's performing the surgery on himself. Wow. And he's removing the appendix, and he's just and then he gets up, he's like, I did it anyway, and then just walked off.
That wasn't so bad after all.
But that's just my brain, and who needs to know about that? What it does highlight to us as well is how much of a lie anticipatory anxiety is. It is a lie. It will just it will project the worst version of yourself, how you see yourself, and try to convince you using the doubt response that is an accurate hypothesis, an accurate guess of what's going to happen. And yet what you hear in all these did it anyways, people surprise themselves. And what that means is that, hold on, why don't I believe in myself over this anxious projection mixed with inner critic? Can I surprise myself like these other people?
Yeah.
Well, find out.
The anticipation is almost always almost always, it was for me personally, and I hear it every day. Like the anticipation is almost always worse than the actual event.
Almost always. In fact, it's almost the golden rule, but then because it's anxiety is our doubt response, it's supposed to feel real. You're supposed to feel doubtful, but what if this is the exception?
Yep.
It gets really primitive, doesn't it? It's a very primitive response where it's like you have to kind of half believe it, so you keep it in mind. You start behaving just in case something bad's going to happen. So understand that response is there and it's doing a job, but it's up to us to believe in ourselves and be brave to to lean into that, to roll the pentamillion on and to do those things.
That's an old reference we haven't heard in a while. I think one thing that's important to recognize when it comes to like, well, you're going to have to take a chance. Like, how can I learn to believe in myself again? Because I don't believe it. I believe when anxiety says, don't do it, it's going to be horrible, I can't do it. I believe that. How can I change that? Well, you have to challenge that. And this is why we call it do it anyway. But it's so important to recognize that it has nothing to do with like, oh, anticipatory anxiety, or the anticipation said it was going to be really hard and really challenging and I was going to maybe panic and feel so upset and incapable and like I want to run out of there. Maybe you might feel that way. So this isn't about believing that it's going to be awesome. Maybe it is. Maybe you're not anxious at all. Who knows how it's going to go? But it's really about recognizing that like, yeah, I'm going to do something scary, which means I will probably be scared, and I'm scared about it now, but I can do that. I can tolerate that. I can handle that. I can get through that.
It's always the worst as well when people like, I don't know, they book a holiday or they commit to a social event or whatever, and they're not feeling great. Maybe their OCD is firing off. Maybe the panic's there. But as soon as they commit to it, the anticipatory anxiety starts to rage. Oh boy. But if you look back at all the times you've done that, and then you go to the event, it is never as bad.
Yeah.
Unless the event is watching Newcastle United play away from home. Therefore, it's worse. Like, actually, you were right to be anticipatory anxious. In fact, it was even worse. You should have ruminated more to protect you from what you're about to experience.
It was worse than it said. It was far worse. It was way worse. It's not even a question. Oh my God. You know what I think? One of the things is the belief is, because the fiction or the conspiracy theory of anxiety or Craig the Critic will say, yeah, it's going to be really intense. And it might be. We have to acknowledge, like, yeah, it might be. But the anxiety, the anticipation, or the no, you can't do this. You don't, how crazy would you don't believe you can do this. You can't handle this. It's because that intensity then is projected to last forever. Like if you're going to an event or, oh no, I said I would go watch this movie with my sister because we haven't gone to the movies in a long time, but I know it's going to trigger my OCD. Like that's one of those trigger themes for me. I'm going to have 2 hours of absolute level 11 terror. But you might have some terror, but but the story that you have to like, oh no, that's not true. It will just be constant. It's never that way. You'll have ups and downs because that's the way this goes. That's really important. Yeah. You don't have to try to believe that it won't be intense. You just have to recognize that it won't be intense forever without any break. That's not the way that works.
Yeah. And you have to experience that the feelings are transient. You have to be there. Your brain needs to experience it.
Yep.
You need to remember that as well. Yeah, I remember working with someone a long time ago, just put an example that popped in my head, and they had POCD and they were afraid to go to a family reunion, a family meeting, and they had the same. Like, the committing to go was the worst part. They went, they felt uncomfortable, they did all these things, they lent into uncertainty, they used it as an exposure, and then 30, 40 minutes later, they're engaged. They're like, oh, actually, this is not as bad. And how often does that happen? How often does it happen when something isn't as bad as the anticipation tells you? Even if you're white-knuckling and compulsing and safety behavioring and inwards compulsing and all this stuff, yeah, and maybe it's an exposure not done ideally. Even that can sometimes be not as bad as what the anticipation would be.
Yeah. Those are really important things. And I think one of the things that is so interesting about how do I believe in myself again, if we look at Kai's story, because he was the opener. Thank you again, Kai. He only got to that at the end of the story. He didn't start this, did it anyway, with, hey, I'm calling in to let you all know you need to believe in yourself. or like, I need to believe in myself. First, he had to have a scary experience. Then he reached the conclusion, wow, we could do much more than we think, or at least I can. And I think other people can too. He was trying to be encouraging. But I'm guessing that that belief only came after he did the scary thing and discovered that he could do it. So yeah, when Craig the critic is running all over you and saying you can, and anxiety says you can't, and that no, you can't, it'll be too much. You got to roll the dice, the Pentamillion God. Only the experience will change your belief over time. That's it. You can't just decide to believe in yourself. It's not going to happen.
What you can do, though, is work on that compassion and encouragement to get you to do the scary thing.
You're right. 100%.
So there are things you can do there, because a lot of people might feel a bit like disheartened by that. You know, well, actually, I don't have any motivation to go and do the scary thing. I'm going to avoid forever, or I'm okay with my compulsions, and I have this theme, and this is the best I can do with it. But no, what you can do is that, okay, I've decided to do a scary thing, and that's okay. So I'm going to be extra kind and encouraging. And also, and I say this to everyone like listening now, I always love this fact. It just baffles me. Like, you've never not coped. And all anxiety's got is, well, what if you don't cope this time? That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives you a souffle of adrenaline with a side order of cortisol, just to give it that extra, you know, extra emphasis. You know, no, I've brought my friends here. You know, you can't do this, and that's it. And that happens to everyone. It's not, you're not special. You know, you can do it. You know, and when you do, you got to be like Kai and be like, give yourself a pat on the back. And you could tell how powerful that was, because he wanted to share it with everyone else.
Yeah, that tells you something about the experience. Let's listen to another one, because we have 3 today and they're all the same theme. So here we go.
Yeah, I've not heard any of these as well. Thank you, Drew, for doing the admin while I was late.
It's all blind. Listen. I don't know which one this is because I didn't write it down, but here we go.
Hi, Josh and Drew. My name is Caroline, and you can use my name. I've been dealing with a lot of health anxiety, and this morning I felt maybe a little sick. I don't really know what it is yet. Maybe it's just a cold. But I immediately just started to do compulsions, and I have OCD. So I started to do these things I usually do when I feel sick. I told my parents, I told my boyfriend, I just kind of started to, oh no, what I'm gonna do. And it's weekend now, I can't enjoy anything. And then I was like, okay, these stories you tell yourself right now, my God, girl, maybe you should just try to not act like a sick person who's dying, because you're not. And even if you get sick, you're gonna be fine. So I just tried to slowly begin to do what I usually do, eat some breakfast, listen to your podcast, because I actually hadn't heard the one from yesterday yet. So that's always nice. And then I thought I really need to reframe the way I view myself when I'm sick, because I always tend to look at myself being super weak and can't enjoy anything. But this time I'm just gonna try to enjoy things anyway. So thank you for everything you guys do. You just helped me having a different view on this whole anxiety and OCD thing. So thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Love the sign off. Well done, Carolyn. That was really great. I hope you're feeling better by now, by the way.
I love that one. You know I love an OCD did it anyway. And that was
sure.
What a good reframe. That is the perfect example of how you do it. Challenging core. In CBT, we'd call that challenging core beliefs.
That's right.
My core belief is that when I have an intrusive thought about my health, or I'm not 100%, that means I am weak, incapable, and ill. And I love when Caroline was like, hold on, just because I'm way more capable here of doing this. And I got to stop acting like a sick person. And that, is just absolutely spot on. Well done. That's put a big smile on my face.
Yep. She even said
almost as much as Kai doing surgery on himself
with a cigar, like an old bottle of brandy to just sterilize the knife. That's all he's got.
Kurt Russell's in there for some reason.
Kurt Russell. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Caroline was able to recognize the story. The story I'm telling myself. Girl, what are you doing? Like, what a good moment of like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? I'm telling, my mind is telling me this story about how fragile and incapable I am of this. What if I challenge it? But again, it was experience. She had to slowly, let me eat something. Let me try this. It wasn't just like girl, dust yourself off and believe something different, and everything was awesome. She had to do things. So that is the biggest part of the whole, how can I believe in myself? You got to do the things that you think you can't do. That's what teaches us. That was it.
It perfectly encapsulates the attitude shift as well.
Episode 10.
Yeah, we talk about this attitude shift. It's very hard to put or explain in an Instagram reel. You know, you can't do. It's an attitude shift is something that's like, let's take a compassionate reframe and use this as an opportunity to grow. So I can't change my feelings immediately. I can use it as an opportunity to grow. And that is what you get. And that's where you've got, I mean, I loved how Carolyn sounded joyous at the end, like, right, cracking on with my day now. Bye.
Bye.
You know,
See ya.
And did Carolyn get rid of the anxiety? No. Well, we don't know. She didn't tell us. Doesn't matter.
Oh.
And that is brilliant.
You know, that's a really good point. She did not end with like, and I wasn't anxious anymore. Maybe she was. We don't know. But that wasn't the important part of the story to her. And that was the shift. Wait, that's not the important part. The important part is I ate my lunch and did my best with the weekend anyway, even though I wasn't feeling so good. Love it.
Maybe her appendix was started to hurt and there was no hospital or surgeon within a 50-mile radius. All she had was a bottle of brandy. And no, I've got to stop.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, Kai, if you're listening, tell if it's okay, we'll give everybody your number. And when they need their appendix out, Josh clearly thinks you removed yours, so they can just call you and you can talk them through it.
I'm so weird. I'm really sorry.
I don't even know why you guys tune in. I know you why, because we're ridiculous and it's fun. But it's really good. Like, again, I didn't believe in myself. No belief there. Craig the Critic, my anxiety. Nope. She even described it like when I'm sick, I feel so weak and fragile. And then I treat myself that way, which therefore confirms, yep, weak and fragile was the prediction that your anxious brain threw out there. And you're like, okay, cool. I guess we'll act weak and fragile. And then the prediction looks right. But it never was.
It's almost like she believed in herself.
That's crazy talk right there.
Yeah, no. What are you doing believing in yourself for? God, wait for some healer online to tell you what to do. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew. I saw your rant the other day on Instagram. I wanted to wind you up again.
I had to throw that out there. It was like a Saturday morning or something. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to put. No, you know what? I need to put a barb out there and then go away for the weekend. So. These are always weird topics for me because it feels so woo. Oh, believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Like, and there is something nice about that. That's a nice thing. Like, hey, I'm learning to believe in myself again. That's a great thing. But learning to believe in yourself again is hard freaking work. It is not glamorous. It's not like well lit. There's no aesthetic to it. It sometimes is slogging through, a weekend where you're just blowing your nose constantly and your throat hurts and you feel sick and all you want to do is sleep. And you think that means you're made of glass, but nope, minute by minute, I'm just going to challenge that and like do things that I think I'm not supposed to do. And like one day I look back and I think, oh yeah, I kind of got my confidence back. I don't know when that happened, but it started to come back. At some point it came back and I don't know when that happened. So it's a great topic, but
I think you've summarized that perfectly.
Yeah. Weird. All right, I guess we're done. There we go. 19 minutes in. Good night, everybody.
He's done it again. I knew it. Every 5 episodes, he says something good.
Yeah, I save it up. I don't want to spoil people, So, yeah, that's the whole belief. I mean, we are only 20 minutes into the episode, but what was a big thing that you couldn't? What did you lose belief in when you were struggling? What disappeared for you?
Good question. So it's a battle between self-belief and compassion. They're a tag team.
Right.
And in this cage match, you're against fear and doubt.
Ooh.
So self-belief and compassion versus fear and doubt. Tag team ladder match in the cage, WWE. And it's a tussle. So for me, when I became resensitized after declaring, I'm anxiety-free, I've conquered it. And then I did a load of drugs at a festival and resensitized myself for a very long time. What I noticed on the resensitization was the tag team of fear and doubt were winning. They kept doing it. They kept They were running the show. I was fighting. I was doing all these things. I was doing all that. And I realized that I lost belief in my ability to be compassionate and believe. And I noticed that. And when that's why I'm so glad I got resensitized. You learn more as well about yourself and your condition when you're resensitized. And also I was confronted with Craig the critic. What was the difference as well from the second time round is, it's difficult to believe in myself because Craig the critic has more ammunition. So, you thought you had this worked out, but you didn't.
Yeah.
I've got you now. Come back in, find out more, research more. You missed something here. And then obviously I've got OCD as well. So it was just loving it, absolutely loving it. And then stuff like that. And I think looking back, I lost it, eroded that belief. And OCD can do that. Doubt.
Yeah.
Fear and doubt will erode your belief. And because it is your doubt response, it literally has to make you doubt. There is nothing wrong with that part of your brain. Mm-hmm. It's doing its job. But sometimes it gets confused. We get super stressed. And then if we've got a raging internal critic, it becomes the voice of reason. Have you ever had that at a work meeting? And there's some absolute doorknob in there, and they're being dead loud, and they're coming out with truisms or whatever, like it's gospel. And just because they're loud and confident doesn't mean that what they're saying has any credence. They're just confident in saying it, and that's what your inner critic will do. It's saying it loud and confidently, like a LinkedIn post, but it's actually just talking nonsense. Listen to the other voice. You're okay. You can do this. You've never not coped. Take a leap. Be like Kai. Be like Carolyn. Do these things, and other hundreds of did it anyways. Have had here, and you can learn that again.
Yeah, like talking nonsense, like a LinkedIn post. So, like, anxiety speaks only in single line paragraphs with spaces between them.
All written by AI.
That's exactly right.
All LinkedIn that is now is conversations between people's different AI engines. This is
terrible,
the death
right?
of human connections.
Sure. So belief, you lost your belief in compassion, like being kind to yourself or patient with yourself. Like, nope. That's because I like how you said it was kind of weasel in, like, you thought you had this figured out, right? No, you didn't. I told you didn't. I knew you were going to crash and burn. And it's like, yeah, you're right. I blew it. I lose that. That's a big component of self-belief or self-confidence or whatever you want to call it that starts to erode. So,
yeah. And so anyway, they won the tag team match.
Fear and doubt.
They climbed the ladder. They got the belt, unified WWE Tag Team Champions. 4
go in, only 2 can come out. And unfortunately, who came out?
Amygdala.
And
it's Craig the critic.
They were talking crap the whole time, like in the promos, the WWE promos. Josh Fletcher, if you're listening, know this, brother. Know this.
This Saturday night.
This Saturday night in the cage, brother, you're going down. So that is literally what it will do. That is 100% what anxiety is going to do to you. It is going to trash talk you and like try to browbeat you before you even show up. Like, don't even bother showing up. Just cancel. Like, don't even bother. Avoid everything because you do not got this. Like,
maybe you can show up, but then you won't be yourself, and people notice, and it's going to make you feel worse. Just turn up. Practice not being 100%. That's what you'll learn from an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
That's how you can believe in yourself as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then not be 100% places. Oh, wow.
More crazy talk, right? And then if you do, like, it's going to tell you to not even bother showing up, metaphorically or literally, physically. And then if you do challenge that and you show up and you start to feel bad, then it's going to like, see, you shouldn't have believed in yourself. This was a huge mistake. And that's another moment where you got to, kind of rise up a bit and like, no, you're not taking this away from me. I'm going to experiment with this. So which is really, really important. It's kind of tough.
Would you like a written did it anyway?
Oh, hell yeah, I would. Try to stop me.
Okay, here we go. Does this person say I can use their name? He doesn't, but I'm going to read it anyway. Here we go. Okay. Hey guys, after years of incorrectly trying to fix my anxiety, I am so grateful that I have found you guys. Cheers. We're grateful too. I suffer from panic attacks and agoraphobia. Though I don't care much about labels, They have been helpful in finding the correct information. I did it anyway. Recently, I had to attend the funeral of a relatively distant family member. As far as I'm concerned, funerals and weddings are just about the worst possible events for someone with panic disorder and agoraphobia. Once the doors close to the church, you have to stay seated until the ceremony is over. And unlike a plane, you can't just get up and go to the bathroom. If you get a panic attack and feel the need to leave, you'll draw attention to yourself and possibly ruin one of the most important days in other people's lives. Either way, on my way to the funeral, I already started sweating heavily and I could feel my body ramping up, but I ended up going anyway. I chose to sit at the back of the church, and eventually my body calmed down as I was focusing on the people grieving and not on myself or on trying to control my anxiety. Thanks for the pod.
Oh, really good. I mean, going to a funeral isn't good, but like...
No, but it's part of life, and anxiety disorders will permeate all parts of life.
Yep.
And I guess what? It sounds like he's going to learn from experience. I think he probably surprised himself.
Imagine that. And like, yeah, going to a funeral is no fun, of course, but like in that moment, we were talking about values here, right? Like one of the ways you learn to believe in yourself is through experiences. What experiences? Experiences that match what you value. So instead of trying to just stay focused and control how I felt inside, I tried to like connect with the people around me who were grieving. This is a shared experience. We all lost somebody. We're here to support each other. That's a values-based decision as opposed to a fear-based decision. And that leads you toward that self-belief and return in your belief in your capability or confidence down the road. So subtle, but it really matters. It's important. Well done.
Really, really well done. Really well done.
Yeah.
Do we have any more people who have took the chance to believe?
We do. We have one. And since this episode is out on October 31st, otherwise known as Halloween, this one is particularly appropriate. So here we go.
Hi, Josh and Drew. My name is Sky, and you can use my name. I have had anxiety and panic since I was a child, and your podcast has been absolutely life-changing. I just wanted to share a quick did it anyway. It's October, so my husband and I decided to go to a haunted house. I struggle particularly with OCD health anxiety and especially cardiophobia. I love Halloween, so I decided to push myself and go. We did the first area, and the adrenaline was pumping, my heart was racing, and it was definitely spooky. My lizard brain tried to tell me that my heart couldn't handle it, but we just immediately got in line for the next attraction, and soon enough I was distracted and even laughed a bit at seeing other people be scared too. I did the whole thing, and I noticed that yes, my heart rate did go up, but it also came back down, and that it really wasn't disordered at all. I think it was a really successful exposure, and I can't thank you enough for the work that you do. You've truly helped me and so many others so much, so thank you.
Love it.
Super. And on theme. Well done. What I liked about that was that I checked my heart rate. I got anxious. It wasn't disordered. I think there's a moment there. It was like, no, I'm in a haunted house. I'm supposed to be scared.
Yeah, they are legitimately making money on elevated heart rates. That's what that's there for.
What if I'm anxious? What if I get anxious? Oh, no, I'm purposely going to make myself anxious.
That's exactly right. There's an entire industry built on that. People that want to be anxious and apprehensive and have their heart pounding and sweating, like because we like it. That wasn't disordered at all.
What would be in the disordered haunted house?
Oh, I love these. This time of year, this is one benefit of social media. You do start to get the "it's a haunted house except it's just" memes. Like it's a haunted house except it's just
so
a wellness influencer.
You walk through so it's for me and you. So we're sat in the ghost train going through the haunted house.
Oh God!
You know, because this one's one of them that you sit in.
Yeah.
We go around the corner through the dark, and then for me personally, I would see Mel Robbins. That would freak me the hell out. What would be in your scary? Oh, then spiders. I don't like spiders.
Yeah, but that's not disordered, is it? I mean, I just don't like spiders.
No, in my fears, I don't like spiders,
and I don't like Mel
okay,
Robbins.
it's not disordered, I suppose. Okay, Mel Robbins isn't that, and then something else.
Fair enough. I don't know how they could put in a haunted house some portrayal of a premature ventricular contraction, but that would be it for me. Like some dude with like an irregular heartbeat just jumps out and says like, "Ooh, I feel like I need to cough," and I'm like, "Ah!" and I just want to run out screaming. So like, it's a haunted house, but it's just nothing but like medical anomalies that you're afraid you have.
Oh yeah, and then suddenly like, a hooded man just leans forward and goes, "Benzo, just in case."
Yeah, we could probably build a great like disordered anxiety haunted house.
Are you sure you checked that? Damn it! Yeah. Just a guy like, hey, "Do you sure you turned the oven off before you came to this haunted house?" I was like, "Oh no, man, this is too much."
We would make a mint too, because the actors don't even need makeup or anything. They just need to lean in and suggest things. That's it. They don't even need scary masks or anything. Like, I don't know, your husband kind of looked at that woman for. That was a long gaze. Did you notice how he did that? Like, bam, relationship OCD, fear unlocked. So, yeah, an anxiety disorder is like, that's exactly what it is. Just like a haunted house of suggestions. That's all it is. Just suggestions of things that might be bad.
What if this isn't DPDR? What if DPDR is the reality and you've actually been dissociated the entire time?
It's a haunted house, except it's just people suggesting that we live in a simulation. It's a haunted house, except people just suggesting that the panic attack will never end. Like we could do this for hours. Like the Halloween episode.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Well, maybe we'll do a bonus episode one day.
We could totally, next Halloween, tune in a year from now. We'll just do an hour on that stuff. But I think it really does. It's kind of accurate though. That's exactly what this is. That takes away the belief, because there are suggestions like, let me just suggest things that could be wrong, that would go wrong, that might go wrong. Let me suggest ways that you might fail or crumble or be incapable. And then you believe those instead of believing in your own capability. So that's what this is about, right?
Yeah. The final jump scare would be all the OCD online coaches, just a room full of them going, "Pay me lots of money. Join my WhatsApp group. I'll fix your OCD." That would be the final one.
Final jump scare.
And I'll be there going, "Make it stop." Ah!
That's it. Abandon all hope, ye who do not vibrate at a high enough frequency. That would be like, that's the quote going into our haunted house.
Would you like, sorry, I can't stay. Would you like an ice pack? No.
Yeah, right. They're just shoving coping like lavender oil at you. Terrifying. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, sorry about that, guys. We got carried away. And we are being kind.
Yeah.
So we've got to believe in yourself. And we get some lovely emails and messages from people. And we try to be modest and stuff, but I thought I was going to read this one out because it was really nice and it made me smile. I don't think they didn't say I can use the name. Just a short one. I just wanted to thank you so much for all you do. The person I was getting anxiety info from before you guys says things like, decide not to be afraid of your symptoms. Your symptoms will go away once you stop thinking about them. Go through your day with a sense of lightness and ease. Avoid situations where you feel trapped. And other many unhelpful things that sent my OCD brain in spirals. I'm still struggling, but since I found you guys, I know that it's okay, that it feels hard, and that willful tolerance and allowing thoughts, emotions, and symptoms to be there, even when you're afraid, is the way out. I know I can do this. Thanks again.
Oh, I love it. That is self-belief coming back. I know I can do this.
I love that.
Me too. You know, that's a good illustration of how traditional wellness advice that is not anxiety disorder informed will help take away your self-belief, because you have a helper here literally saying avoid any trap situations. No, it's true. You can't handle that. You might be too anxious. You'd be too anxious there. Don't do that. Don't go there.
Oh, he's bringing back Craig the Great.
Like that's terrible advice from a helper, right? Like, yeah, let me tell you how, like, just don't think about that. Don't have that. Don't think about something else. Think about happy things. Go to your happy place. Oh.
No, let him all in and feel whatever you need to feel.
Yeah, because then that would lead you to believe, like, it's, if you guys follow along in my Substack, like I'm writing about that this week, so it all dovetails together. Like the first level of belief that you lose is your belief that your body and mind are on your side. You'll start to feel like they're betraying you because they're making thoughts and sensations that you don't want and feel like you can't control. And then the second level of belief that you lose is, I can't handle this. I don't believe I can handle it. And anybody that wants to tell you that you have to get away from the thoughts or get away from the sensations or regulate it away and need to like change your life around this is helping you not believe in yourself. It's not cool. It's not cool, man.
It's true that though the belief is so important. Like if you found a magic technique that got rid of your anxiety, you never learned that you were the person that tolerated it.
Yeah.
It does not foster self-belief. It fosters credit on everything that's external from you. And that's why belief is really important.
You know, early on in this podcast, we had, you know, I think one of our How We Got Better, we did in one of the first 5 or 10 episodes. There was a moment, I think we were talking about techniquifying. And I was like, I owe you for a therapy session, dude, because why did it keep coming back for so many years? That's why, because I just found a technique that made it stop when I read Claire Weeks, but I did not understand what I was really doing. And so like,
the credit went to Claire Weeks.
100%.
As amazing as a woman she is, that's not what she was saying.
The credit went to like the technique of acceptance. And I didn't understand the part that I actually had to do. And so it just kept coming back until it was like, well, I guess it's not supposed to make it go away. So yeah, that can happen. You're right. Good point.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I fell into those traps. Techniquifying. We can do another episode on techniquifying if you want.
Oh boy, there's so much subtle techniquifying too. When you don't even know you're doing it, you look back and know you're doing it. But yeah, maybe next week we'll do that. But anyway, I think we're good. Yes. Anything else?
No, that was very good. Thank you for sending in the Did It Anyways. That's great to see the OCD ones as well. Thanks for listening out for that. So if you've been brave enough to send in an OCD Did It Anyway, that was great. But they're all welcome, you know, and it's really nice. Thank you so much for the reviews and stuff. If you want to send in a voice note or drop us a message, you can do it at disordered.fm. And thank you for the nice reviews and things. And if you've got a moment, give us a review on Apple or Spotify if you want to. It doesn't matter. And yeah, thank you for tuning in as always.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for hanging out.